benefit to the research for the people who are doing it, but a lot of it is focused on treatment of disease and not prevention and curing. Because there's a lot more money to be made in, exactly, like, we'll make you feel better, but we're not going to make it better. Or we're not going to prevent it in the first place because there's no money to be made there. But there is an incentive if the government is paying a bill. There's an incentive to prevent healthcare issues. There's an incentive to teach people to eat healthy so they're not overweight. There's an incentive to get the information to the people so that they can take care of themselves and so that they can avoid the things that are going to make them sick. So I think that there's a definite benefit that comes from giving the public. I mean, hopefully the government is in the public service, so you're giving the public their voice about their own treatment, about their healthcare, instead of people who have a monetary incentive to treat your disease.
All the medicines and stuff that I brought, my doctor was like, wow, these aren't legal in the U.S. because it takes forever to, for us to, there's so much bureaucratic red tape and everything in our medical system. France is going to get far more advanced, treatments than we are sooner because of the way that their system is set up. And so I was like, heck yeah, France medical care, so it's not bad.
Taking care of itself, if you will, that creates a lot of problems of people of them, saying, well, if you're an older person, you're not a contributor to our society, so maybe we can, kind of write you off of our health care. Maybe we can euthanize you or whatever. I mean, there's a lot of kind of a moral standpoint to that of who is no longer a contributor to that society, who may not receive the health care that they deserve because they're not putting in anymore. It creates sort of an unfairness when it's looking at it from a government standpoint of, what's going to be better for our system rather than, every little person fighting for themselves, because some people, some people's situation isn't better for the system, but it's better for them.
It's not like the government's going to come down and hand everybody health insurance. I mean, you are going to have to pay. Everybody's going to have to pay, or the employer is going to have to pay. It's just the amount, or if you don't, what the penalties, say, may be, or how much your employer is going to pay, the rates that are going to be charged by the doctors and the hospitals and the drug companies and things like that, the ability to compete by getting things across state lines and across from Canada and things like that. So it's not a complete handout where the government says, I wave my wand and now everybody has free health insurance. That's not what universal health care is. That's not what passed. And unfortunately, you will, I think, start seeing some changes come 2014 and as time progresses with I don't know how many employees you have.
Full-time, and a good friend of mine, amongst many others there, she had arthritis, and because she had a pre-existing condition, she couldn't get her own individual health care plan. So she had to quit her job so that she could get unemployment and health insurance. So now she has no job, and her insurance was over $1,000 a month, and she had no means to pay her insurance. So the catch-22 of what the government is providing, and the Billmore State is no small business. It just put a lot of people in a really hard spot.
That it would be like FICA. And right now, Social Security and Medicare cap out when you make over $102,000. So the person who makes $150,000 a year is paying the same amount as the person who makes $3 million a year. They're contributing the same into the big pot for Social Security and Medicare that everybody else is. So, except that at the end of the cycle, when you have the millionaires who are now on Social Security and Medicaid, or Carecaid, I'm not sure which one it is, I never get it right, they are entitled to the system even though they can well afford their own health insurance. They can well afford it.
Productive member of society, which is kind of sad. I think she'd be a lot happier if she was contributing, for sure. So.